Lyle, Valiant Elegance is a horse that did a really good job first up, and he'll come back to the race on Wednesday night to Happy Valley.
Yeah, he certainly did. He got a bit of luck and a few favours in the running after being slightly tardy away. But thereafter, like I said, he put all the right moves in place and he went to go win a good race. So he's obviously just maintained such a high level of form, and it deserved another victory.
Just on him starting a little bit slow, is that characteristic of him at times, or was that just a little bit sort of out of the ordinary that he did start that bit slowly?
At times, it's possible. We've seen it before. In general, I think that's one of the reasons we've got on so well is that we've managed to get those starts right 9 times out of 10. So, he is capable of stepping away well, and we know that he has a lot of speed too. And we'll just be hoping to get out the gates well again.
He's got £8 more to carry. Obviously, the handicapper hasn't missed him naturally. He's done such a great job. He got down as low as 39 at one stage. So do you feel there might still be that bit more to come, or sort of where is the ceiling with him, do you think?
Like you say, he has been climbing up the ratings quite quickly, and albeit well deserved. I'm sure that he is probably getting to that mark now where things are getting a bit difficult. However, everything he's done the past few wins, he's surprised us, and he just keeps stepping up. So I hope he can do it again for me.
And the extra furlong as well, obviously ticks plenty of boxes. He's got plenty of form, hasn't he, around the course and distance?
He does. I think the 5 furlong at Happy Valley is the ideal trip for him, especially if he gets away really well. However, most of his wins have been over the 1200, so he can't be too perturbed about that.
And just from the connections point of view, obviously he's had a little trip up to Chung Fa. I know that probably doesn't affect you greatly, but has Dougie White been pleased with him since he's returned from Chung Fa?
Yes, don't change a winning formula. He always heads back there, and that's where he does most of his preparation. So we've just kept things as they have been, and hopefully he keeps going as he has been.
Frankie, Fafa is one of your stable stars. He made his return to action a couple of weeks ago and did a good job, and back to Happy Valley on Wednesday night. Have you been happy with the horse since his debut run this season?
Yeah. He first start, he finished third close, and after last one, he improved, and I think he will have a very good chance.
What's been noticeable within his track work, Frankie, that has suggested to you that he's come on quite nicely for that run?
Yeah, he's usually after first start, the horse should be improved. Yeah.
Just on sort of a pace angle in the race. Now, last time out, obviously the winner, Telecom Fighters, sort of had it all his own way in front. He has been scratched out of the race.
Yeah.
How do you assess this race now from a pace perspective with him coming out?
I have another horse. Maybe he can lead in front by himself. He lead before. I think he can lead in front if no one lead in front. Yes.
And with a horse like Fafa, for example, would you ever be sort of the thinking that he could possibly go and lead in a race like this? Would that always perhaps be a thinking with you and your jockey to make the running with him ever?
I think depends by the pace.
Yeah.
If no horse lead, maybe sometimes you lead, you go in front. I don't want sometimes you fight with the horse not really good. If you think that race this race, I have another horse, he can lead in front, so should be okay. Yeah.
On this morning, you trialled Beauty Live in Tranmere. I wanted to ask you about him because he had a really good sort of opening season last campaign. Where will he reappear? Obviously, he's a pretty nice type of horse into Class 2 now.
Yes, I just trialled him, but the first trial maybe not really good. Usually he tried once before on the third, also not really good. But anyway, I need to have a look him first, maybe give him one more trial.
We look forward to seeing him. And are you of the opinion that he is a very nice horse to go to war with this season?
Yes, I think later on maybe he can go up to 1600, yes.
Keith Yeung, great to chat to you. I don't think we've had the pleasure just yet, but Tailor Made is one of a number of rides for you on Wednesday night. He's a horse that you know quite well, Keith, and good to get on him this Wednesday, I'm sure.
Yes, I think he'll be a very good chance horse for me, and he ran really well last time, and he drove good barrier, and he continues to draw good barrier this time. And I've been doing his morning trail work, and he feels really good.
For you, getting back on him in the track work, do you feel he's the same sort of horse as you remember, or do you feel he's improved a little on what we've seen recently?
From what I can recall, I think he's just improved from before. So he gave me a good feel in the morning, so I'm looking forward for him to run a good race.
You're drawn in gate number 2. I mean, is that in your mind an ideal place to be with a horse like
Oh
him?
yes, you can. Happy Valley and Barrier 1, 2, the best you can have.
You would have done your due diligence, I'm sure, in the form of this race. On just what he's done recently, I mean, I know he's yet to win in this grade, but his form probably has to be the best on show, I think.
Yeah, sure. He's carrying lightweight, and I think he'll do well again this time.
Has the reports from Casper been pleasing? I mean, obviously he's a horse coming into the race in form. Casper's got his horses going well. I imagine, all the stars are aligning, aren't they, really?
Yeah, sure. He's doing really good.
11 winners for you last season, Keith. Obviously, it's been a relatively slow start this campaign. Obviously, we know how tough it can be for any rider here in Hong Kong. To get on horses like him, I know it's only a humble Class 4 perhaps, but it certainly must fill you with plenty of pleasure to come racing and know that you've got a good ride like him to jump on board.
To be honest, not too much pressure, but any time you get on a horse, there's a good chance, just a good barrier in form, and you always try your best to ride the best.
Alexi, Touch Faith is your last ride on Wednesday night. Good to have you back in action, of course. He's a horse that you rode last time and he went really well.
Yes, that's correct. I think he won quite well in Class 5 and he stepped up to Class 4 at the end of the season. He's had a tough run. I was 3 wide, no cover, but the horse was comfortable like this and he hit the line quite strong, so I'm confident he should be improving enough to run a good race.
And just given what we know on that last performance, obviously the handicap has left him off this mark of 44. Do you feel he can be competitive in what looks an open race?
I think so. As I mentioned, it was a tough run last time, and he did a good job. So I hopefully can repeat that performance with a smoother and easier run for him and hit the line strong.
Just from barrier 5, so where do you see yourself sort of settling once the gates open?
Well, I presume it's all about the tempo of the race and how we begin from the gate. You want to be as close as possible from the fence, I would say, and see how it begins.
Obviously, as I say, great to have you back. You've sat out the last couple of meetings, so obviously it'd be nice to get a winner on the board there. Just looking ahead, now Wellington trialled this morning. I'd like you to describe that trial for me because it looked very impressive.
Yes, it was. I came back from far behind and the horse hit the line very strong. He was very concentrated and he runs a very good trial.
Do you feel he's got stronger as he's got older, this horse? I mean, we know him to be very good, but do you feel he's improved on last season?
Well, it's hard to say because he's got a lot of personality. He's not giving everything in the morning, so it's hard to judge, but he's been very impressive last year during the races, and hopefully he can be at least as good as he was last year.
You mentioned that personality, and before we saw him head out for the trial, he was showing just a little bit of that. He was quite fresh and well this morning. Was that sort of characteristic for him, or was that
Yes.
something that sort of caught you a bit by surprise?
Yes, definitely. He's always a bit a bit funny when he's fresh at the beginning of the season. I'm always very cautious because he can spin around very quickly.
When will we see him back on track, Alexi? You and Richard, have you come to a plan with him going forward?
Well, I'd like to think that he's going for the Group 2 1200. I don't remember the date, but I assume he's going to go there.